Nice.
Welcome to Action Packed, where we look at action movies and find out just how packed they are. Happy Valentine's Day, and to spread some love, we're looking at Mr. and Mrs. Smith, released in 2005. Mr. and Mrs. Smith stars Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and kind of co-stars Jennifer Aniston. You see, it was on the set of this movie that the famous relationship of Brangelina was first born. But it was this huge thing, cause Brad was still married to Jen. This mess of pop culture love is the reason I think this movie makes for the perfect Valentine's episode. And it was even directed by Doug Liman, who directed and executive produced for the OC. So you know this movie was bound to stir up some of that hot drama. There's been a lot of talk about a sequel over the years, but nothing that Jolie or Pitt were happy with. And with the titular couple now being tits up and doubled, I don't know if we'll ever see a true sequel. This was supposed to be a prequel. Liman went over budget on the film by nearly $30 million, causing him to shell out the remaining budget from his savings and to blow up a set in his mom's garage with a hand grenade. The movie follows the marriage of two contract killers who meet during an assignment but fall in love for realsies. After years of being married, they go to marriage counseling to work out their problems, and we get to tag along as they recount the story of their relationship, while also giving us some crazy action along the way. It received mixed reviews from critics, with the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes saying it had weak writing and one too many explosions. It's an action movie. Why wouldn't you want more explosions? Maybe they exploded on the inside because of all this hot, steamy love. Will our hearts also be part of the explosions? Let's start the movie and find out. The movie begins dead center in the middle of a marriage counseling session. The counseling aspect calls to the way screenwriter Simon Kinberg got the idea for the movie, as two of his friends were in marriage counseling and he thought, damn you guys, that might make a super dope action movie. There's not really a lot of action in the first half, but it's all love. It's all love. You can really tell there's chemistry between Pitt and Jolie, with the counseling shots feeling mostly improvised. We get to see how they meet, with some sexy dancing and kissing in the rain. Vince Vaughn makes an appearance and plays Vince Vaughn, who's John's best friend.
What? I'm getting married! What? I can't hear you. I'm getting married! I can't hear him. Can you stop hitting him? I think he said something crazy.
So that's right, the Smiths get married and neither one of them know that the other one is a super successful contract killer. Over time, their relationship starts to get stale and we get to see it all, cause drama. We get some shots of some boring relationship stuff, but almost 30 minutes into the movie we get some crazy relationship stuff, as both our characters go on contracts and we get a little shooting and neck breaking, alright. John stumbles in pretending to be drunk to kill this Irish guy Lucky at a poker game, adding 5 kills to our count cause there's this guy hiding in the background on the couch. And Jane gets freaky with this guy who sells guns to the wrong people. Bye, buddy. Things get a little more hectic in our story as Jane's almost caught in her crazy latex killing dress. We do get some funny duality here as both come back from their contracts and immediately go to the most posh party ever to keep up appearances. Can't lose that neighborhood clout. We get some even cooler shit after, as the next morning both John and Jane go to their weapon stashes. Look at all the cool stuff they'll probably hopefully use at some point, hopefully, please. They go to their respective offices and then we get some more action as both of them are assigned to the same target. Oh no! They gotta kill this guy, and they're gonna run into each other? Oh no! Jane sets up and camps out for the target, having explosives set up to trigger as he drives by. John shows up in what looks like was probably the funnest scene to shoot for Brad Pitt, but the couple is far enough away that they don't recognize each other at the mission. However, they are close enough to realize the other is a threat, and Jane shoots John, which pisses him off enough to bazooka her hideout. That gives us our first explosion of the movie. We get even more explosions after as the explosives Jane set up for the target detonate. I don't really know how to count these. I guess I'll say 4 because it looks like 4 detonations. John and Jane both retreat, unsuccessful in the assassination, and now have to kill each other as they're both loose ends to the other's agency. John figures out it was Jane through a destroyed computer he pulls from the scene, and Jane puts it together from the footage she got of John before the whole bazooka thing. They both go home and sit down for dinner casually. Brad Pitt gives us some face acting too. Nice, Brad. They both know, but don't know the other knows. So John goes to get a gun so he can kill Jane, but Jane senses that shit and speeds away in what looks like a very sensible vehicle. I'm iffy on if I count this as a chase, but John goes after Jane on foot, so in the spirit of love, I'll count it. It's all love. Jane gets away by trapping John in the car, and then we get some more Vince Vaughn. John tries to head back to his weapon stashes, but Jane's already beat him to it, emptying them out. Ah, shoot, oh darnosh. Somehow he's still able to get enough gear together for a sneak attempt. Jane is in her office though, and he decides to call her while he's trying to sneak in. It's like they're playing with each other. Oh, because it's all love. Oh. Jane evacuates her team and John just misses her, giving us some more face acting. Okay, you can stop now, Brett. Next, we get pretty much a repeat of all the last scenes, like right down to Vince Vaughn. And John tries again to sneak into Jane's office, but gets caught in the elevator this time. Jane detonates a charge on the elevator, causing it to fall to the ground, and I'll count that as one explosion for the initial charge, but not for when it hits the ground. Of course John survives. He faked that he was in that elevator and he's all, "Oh dang, shoot, can't believe she'd kill me like that." And he goes to surprise Jane, who's having dinner at a restaurant. Jane doesn't want to talk right now, I guess, and starts a fire, causing the building to evacuate. We get a quick explosion to add as Jane left a nade in John's pocket, forcing him to shove it in a mailbox before it blows up. Both of them race home and we finally start getting into that good shit. We get an explosion to add when John cuts the gas line in their oven and Jane ignites it by being a little trigger happy. But don't forget what day it is, everybody, because this hot action is about to take on a whole new meaning and we reconsummate this marriage. Things aren't going to be steamy for long, however, and we see that John and Jane both have bounties on their heads now for lots and lots of money. But before all that goes down, we get a cute scene of them making breakfast together in their now totally destroyed home. It's not long before people start taking notice of that bounty though, and we get some more action as smoke bombs are thrown into the house. John and Jane retreat to the basement when a robot comes in to drop off a little present. That's for us though, not for them, because that's a fucking bomb, and it blows up their whole house, giving us not only a badass explosion, but adding 5 hitmen to the list as well, because there were some suits creeping outside. John and Jane make a getaway in a minivan, and we get another quick kill as John runs over this other hitman. And then we get another chase right after as 3 cars pull up behind John and Jane as they're on the highway. Really was saving all that good stuff for the end, because it just keeps coming. We get one explosion as John pulls a pin on one of the hitmen in one of the cars. We get another explosion at the end of the chase as Jane does some baby driver shit, I guess. Wow, like, that's crazy. That causes a massive wreck, and we get a shot of an explosion starting, but no explosion in the wider screen. I'm gonna count it anyways though. I'm also counting 6 deaths, as from the few scenes we see, there's more than 1 guy in 2 of the cars, so I'll assume that there's 2 in the 3rd as well. With John and Jane both getting away, there's only one place for them to go: Vince Vaughn, who turns out to be actually a very committed friend in this movie.
I don't need to have those looks from you, okay? I've been in his life for a long time.
Focus.
I've been in his life for a long time.
Focus. Stop.
He tells the Smiths that they're both wanted dead by both of their companies, and suggests maybe killing the target they missed will fix the situation. So that's exactly what they do, giving us 4 more for these cops holding the contract, whose name is Benjamin the Tank Dans, by the way. I don't know if I said that earlier. We can add an explosion for when John blows up the door. Cool. We also get some more relationship building. Listen to your partners, everybody. They get away with Benjamin, but find out he's actually been bait this whole time, and that John and Jane's companies found out they were married, so they set this whole thing up with the double booked contract so they'd be killed. Oh shit. Double oh shit, cause Benji's got a GPS on him. It's okay though, cause they just get away when more hitmen close in on them. Is it hitmen still? Because these guys kinda look a little more like SWAT. Anyways, John and Jane hunker down in a cost mart for the final sequence. We get some guys that like just get bonked on the head or chopped or whatever. Doesn't look lethal, so I won't count them. During the mayhem, Jane and John are both shot to hell. Only in the vests though, cause, you know, plot. And then they get ready to make their last stand. The final shot here is really well done, concluding the story of their relationship the same way it started, with a dance. In their final stand, John and Jane supposedly kill everyone, so any SWAT-looking guy popping up on the screen is gonna get counted. That gives us 51 kills in this mess of action, including these bodies in the wide shot we get. I don't know if these are the same guys who got shot before, so I'm just gonna count them, because I mean, like, they were shooting off screen too, so, you know. Finally, we add another 2 explosions as we get some RPG shot dodging. Fancy for 2005. Now having killed literally everyone there was to kill, we cut back to the counseling where the Smiths say their marriage has never been better. There's also an alternate ending where they move to Italy and have a baby. I'll link it for you in the description. And that concludes this ride of love. So how action-packed was Mr. and Mrs. Smith? We got 74 kills, 14 explosions, and 2 chase scenes in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, giving us a total of 90 action events over a 119-minute runtime. This makes the movie second in our list in kills, third in explosions, and tied for second with chase scenes. Thanks for watching Action Packed. Special thanks to anybody who made it this far in the video. Love ya. What did you think of Mr. and Mrs. Smith? I actually really kind of like this movie. It does have some decent action in the back half, and you know, the OC stuff isn't so bad either. Still don't really get the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't. Maybe it was all too packed in the back half? I don't know. Who knows with critics. See you in the next episode. Stay safe, everybody.